this example, I want to show you how you can use the TI84 to then solve this problem. A soft drink machine is regulated so that it dispenses an average of 200 milliliters per cup. The amount of drink dispensed is normally distributed with a standard deviation equal to 15 milliliters. So that means our mean is equal to 200. Our standard deviation is equal to 15. And if we want to draw the normal distribution, looks something like this. We have a mean of 200 and a standard deviation of 15, so we want to put in the standard deviations up from the mean and the 3 standard deviations down from the mean. And now we can answer our problems. What proportion of cups will be filled less than 180 milliliters? So that is approximately this proportion. So just looking at this, this is obviously going to be less than 0.5. But let's go ahead and use our TI84 to solve this problem. So the first step is to turn on your calculator, press second, then distribution, go down to the normal CDF command. We're trying to find a proportion from a value and press enter. Now we want to put in our lower bound. Our lower bound is essentially negative infinity. So if we look down here, this is about negative infinity. All normal distributions go from negative infinity up to positive infinity. So our lower bound is negative infinity. In the calculator, that's going to be negative 1e to the 99. Our upper bound will then be 180, so 180. Go down to your mean. This will be 200. And your standard deviation is 15. Press paste and enter. And we get a value of 0.09121. So 0.09121 is the answer for what proportion of cups will be filled less than 180 milliliters. All right, so for the next problem, we want to find what proportion of cups will be filled more than 225 milliliters. Let's go ahead and draw in this proportion. It'll be 225 is essentially about right there, and we want to shade in this region. So again, this will be something a little less than 0.5, maybe a lot less than that. So going to our calculator, go ahead and go to the second distribution, normal CDF command. Now our lower bound in this case is our 225. The upper bound is then positive infinity. How we plug that in a calculator is 1, and then go to second, double EE to the 99. Essentially just a really large number. Our mean is 200, and our standard deviation is 15. It's already filled in for us. Press enter or paste, and we'll get a proportion of 0.04779. All right, so for the last problem, we want to know what proportion of cups will be filled between 180 and 225. So to find that, let's first go ahead and shade in our region. So that's going to be 180 to 225. And I would maybe guess at that value going to come in around something like 70 or 80%. I actually am not sure, but just looking at that proportion, that seems to make about sense. So let's go ahead and find out what it is using our TI84. Go to the second distribution and the normal CDF command again. In this case, our lower bound will be 180. The upper bound will be 225. And our mean and standard deviation are already filled in. Go ahead and press enter, enter, and sure enough, we get a proportion of 0.0860998. And of course, you could round this to just probably 0.86 would be fine. All right, and that's how we solve these three questions using our TI-84.